For today's video, unfortunately here it's only the 4th month of 2021 and we've already had 147 something mass shootings, and I figured what better time would it be than to explain a little bit about why and how easy it is to get a gun in the United States. Now, of course, it varies from state to state, as we're going to get into a lot of the little details. First, I've got my little Tim Pool beanie, my toboggan, my reverse Tim Pool, so to speak, a little homage. So we're going to start off with his video from about a year ago, August 22, 2019. I tried to buy a gun at Walmart twice, and roadblocks left me empty-handed both times. So apparently, which they'll get into, she went to whatever state, he's going to go through it, but whatever state she was in doesn't allow you to just go in and buy a gun straight off. No duh, every state's different. You might as well be in different countries, in different states, different rules. Some things carry over, but not everything. One of the first things is important I want to show you.
This story right now, and I wanted to talk about it. It's about a woman who tried to buy a firearm from Walmart twice and was unable to. Shock. The most important thing to be said about this story is that a journalist didn't understand anything about firearms and thought it was a story to go to Walmart and try and buy one. I'll tell you why it's significant. It shows you the media doesn't understand conservatives. That should be a...
Okay, so, right, she could have easily had looked up the gun laws the same way I did. It didn't even take me 5 minutes, and you would understand how easy it is. It's seriously, it's like buying groceries. I'll show you here shortly after we kind of go over a little bit of the video, but it's no different than going into a store and buying anything else, depending on what state you're in. If you're in a state that doesn't allow you, move to a different state, even if it's just on paper, and then take that ID and go buy a gun. It's not hard.
Alarming. This story would never exist in a conservative outlet. Why would the Washington Examiner write a story about what conservatives know? Buying a gun isn't always easy. I shouldn't say always easy. There are steps to be taken. Easy or hard is an opinion. So it is not a simple process to just go and buy a gun. Liberals don't get this.
Right. So it's not a simple process depending on what state you're in. But if you're in the right state, it's no different than buying gas at your local gas station, except you just have to fill out a couple forms. If you're not a felon, you don't have any warrants out for your arrest, you're going to get a gun. Plain and simple.
So they end up showing up to Walmart thinking they can just do it, and they think it's a news story to do it. Here's the most important thing, however. This woman did an incredible job, and I applaud her for this story, and it is extremely important that she did this story. I don't like the fact that conservatives are dragging her for it, because this is what a journalist should do. While it shows you they don't understand the perspective of conservatives, it shows you that somebody who doesn't understand this wants to make sure those who don't understand it understand it. More liberals need to do this. More Democrats, more people on the left need to explain the process of buying a firearm. Going and showing how it's done. People are saying like, haha, she thought she could buy a gun and she had no idea. It's like, right. So isn't it a good thing she took the time to learn and then shared that experience with the left? One of the most annoying things to me in the gun debate, because I am a moderate on the issue. I understand the Second Amendment. I think it is very important, and it's a very powerful statement in and of itself. Who's going to invade a country with 4 million guns in it? Yeah, good point.
So Tim will go on in this episode of his videos, and he will basically give you kind of a rough overview of his opinion, of course. But when you don't do research on, essentially, you're going to have trouble. You're going to have those preconceived notions of what things actually are that are different. If you don't do the research, whatever the topic is, you will not be well informed. And he's saying that they all they had to do was just do a Google search on the laws, but they thought it was a news story to, try and just walk into a random Walmart in a random city in a random state and just see what happens. How many things do you do that's that random? And when you get a gun, you have to know how to use it, right? You have to know how to. You have to have shot a gun at least before. Some kind of training or knowledge about what you're doing. The same way you need a license to get a car. You got to at least be able to do the legwork.
We are a strong nation because of it. But I do recognize we have problems, and we need to have a conversation about it. That doesn't mean we ban weapons. That doesn't mean we ban firearms. It means we need to have a conversation, and we need to bring everyone to the table. The most annoying thing to me, though, is that whenever I talk to people on the left, they don't know anything about guns, man. And conservatives know it. Absolutely know it. There was a meme going around where Kamala Harris said she was going to ban the importation of AR-15s, and it's like, these weapons aren't imported. They're made in America. And I'm pretty sure, is Armalite an American company? I think she was talking about AR-15 specifically. There are weapons that are, firearms that are made in other countries, of course. Sweden exports a ton of weapons. The point is, how are we supposed to have a debate on effective plans for stopping, mass shootings and gun violence when one side of the coin doesn't even know how buying a gun works?
Okay, so this is a good point to get into how easy it is. It's no different than moving to another country and getting your kind of not expunged, but your record will be different in a different state. Some things do carry over. If you've done really heinous acts, it will follow you nationwide, but the little stuff won't follow you from state to state. So one of the things I want to get into is how easy it is to actually do it is just to look up a few different pages on the internet. Now, I don't have to worry about it, but if I was from a different state, I wanted to know how to get one. Okay, so the first thing is, can I buy a gun in another state? Okay, well, say you went to whatever, Walmart or your gun store, and you can't buy one, or there isn't one. Wherever you are, they don't sell firearms. Quora. So, can I buy a gun in another state? William Thackeray, NRA life benefactor, gun enthusiast, 3-gun competitor. Okay. Yeah, he looks like a meat eater too. No vegans here. Okay, so if the purchase is an over-the-counter purchase in another state of a long gun or shotgun from a licensed dealer, the answer is yes. So long as the purchase is legal in the home state of the purchaser. Handguns must always be delivered through a registered dealer in the purchaser's home state, according to the ATF. So this is important too. So if you look this up and you read over it, it'll give you a real good brief overview of kind of what your options are. Okay, now if you look at the same on here, usconcealedcarry.com, Kentucky's concealed carry map and gun laws. They were updated 2020. So we here in Kentucky, it's a Commonwealth. The law was passed a year ago. We don't need concealed carry license or CCDWs to carry a gun. In the state, I can carry my gun anywhere I want to, and it's not illegal as long as the business allows me to have it. Or if I want to carry it on the street, yeah, I'll probably get stopped by a cop, but there's not a whole lot he can really do about it as long as I'm not threatening anyone. But say whatever state you live in, so I live in Kentucky, and Kentucky's in the gray, and if I get a CCDW in Kentucky, I can carry my gun in all of the states that have green. So you'll notice that there are some with restrictions. The different states have different restrictions, and you can easily look up what those restrictions are. Usually they're not that much different. They just want you to carry it a certain way. Don't flash it in public. And then the red, of course, if you look, it's all the areas with the bigger cities. The bigger cities don't want guns, such as New York, New York City, Illinois, of course, Chicago, California, of course, Los Angeles, places with more violence, more gangs, that kind of thing. Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon. Not Vermont or Delaware. It looks like New Jersey, Massachusetts, Maryland. Looks like Washington D.C. Possibly. I know it's between Virginia and Maryland, but the point of this is to understand your movement once you do get a gun, and how easy it is to get a gun in these states. So if you look in the green, it's extremely easy to get a gun in the green states. It's extremely hard to get a gun in the red states, which comes into play, how bad do you want it? How bad do you need that firearm? If your life's in danger, of course, just say you're in New York and you can afford to move out of New York into a different state, then do that. If you can't, drastic measures might have to be taken. So in Kentucky, like I said, we don't have really any gun laws. There's nothing preventing me from going to the gun store whenever they're open, and in under an hour I can get a gun and walk out. Same as groceries. I'll go ahead and prove it. So when I was 18, I bought my first one. My dad came in, and I have a 9mm Taurus Millennium, safety on, of course. We were taught in school, not in public school, but we were taught on the extracurricular activities how to use firearms. So it's extremely safe with me. I've had only 2 9mm, but again, it took me about a half hour to get my first gun when I was 18. Now you're thinking, okay, well, that's one. This is my Mossberg 410 shotgun for home defense. It's extremely light, and it's not going to kill someone, but it will definitely put them down, and it's small enough to carry around your house. Again, I got this in about a half an hour at the local gun store. Okay, well, you might be asking yourself, well, obviously you can't get machine guns, right? Oh, wrong. Okay, this is my assault rifle, my AM-15. It's a version, a small, light, slightly more compact than what you would see as, say, an AK-47. And it is made right here in Kentucky. And I got this in under an hour. Of course, I'm not a felon. I don't have any arrest warrants, so they can't not sell it to me as long as I don't lie to them where I live at the store. Banana clip. Again, it's not even, it's just like going to the grocery store. I just keep getting them. How much does your safety mean to you? What would you do if you couldn't leave to? It just depends on how bad you want it. Now, if you go buy it illegally, you're getting a chance of running into a cop selling it to you, just like other buying drugs or other bad things. If you go and do it, there's a decent chance that you could be buying it from a cop illegally and getting arrested. It's not going to help you. Say you're living in one of the red states and you just can't buy a gun. Now, if you look between each, just look around each red state, and you're going to pretty much find a green state. Okay, even New York, you've got a couple states. Vermont, I think, is one. Illinois, you've got Indiana. Right? New Mexico, you've got Texas. California, you've got Nevada. Well, that's where, okay, that's where the can I buy a gun in another state comes in. Now, some guns you can go to a different state, but again, this should not be done. Now, if you move to a different state, okay, you can buy one, but don't violate the law. Like, I'm not here telling you to break any law whatsoever, okay? Say you live in Illinois and you want to move to Kentucky. Now, all you need is proof of residency in Kentucky to get a valid Kentucky driver's license. Now, once you do have that driver's license, all you have to do is go to a gun store. I mean, look, I can look up gun stores in Kentucky, and I can guarantee you I'll be in and out with weapons, anything. Like, they even show pictures. What do you want, a shotgun? I'll go get it. I'll be right back. I'll have a couple boxes of ammo. It's not even hard. Just look up Kentucky gun store. Okay, today is Saturday. We have Whitaker's Guns and Ammo. It's open. River City Firearms. They're pretty intense people. Bud's Gun Shop and Range. This is where my cousin went to buy his first gun. He wanted to protect himself. And if we look it up, it's a little hard to see, but each one of these little black dots is a firearm for maybe $300 to $500 that you could go in and get it in under an hour. If you look up Bud's Gun Shop on here, you can see a lot of assault rifles similar to the one I've had for a while now. And yeah, even if you don't have a concealed carry permit for the state, all you need to do is fill out a form. They do a short background check on you. Yeah, the gun shops, whether they tell you that they don't or not, they do background checks. Okay, I'm in the most liberal gun state, I think, in the country, and if I didn't have a CCDW, they would do a background check real quick. Are you a felon? Do you have warrants out for your arrest? It doesn't take that long. Sometimes maybe 15-20 minutes for them, depending on how busy they are. And that's it. As long as you have the money, no muss, no fuss. You walk out with a handgun and as much ammo as you can afford. Or if there's a restriction, then of course, like during COVID, you can have one box at a time or something, or one box a day. That's literally how easy it is. It's too easy, really. The main point of, I love the Second Amendment. I love being able to protect myself. But when you have so many mass shootings, you do start to ask yourself why, what we can do, what are the root causes. But even if they do figure it out, they're not doing anything about it. So if you do come to the United States, I suppose if somebody's watching this from a different country and they're coming here, learn where it happens, right? Just real quick, look up and see, okay, well, they mainly happen at schools, so you need to be a little bit more careful. I know there was a movie theater, a FedEx, unfortunately, was a couple days ago in Indianapolis, Indiana, which again, if you look, a lot of these are in green states. So you do kind of have to be on your guard a little bit more. But again, at the same time, if they were to take them away, which they won't, that's just fear mongering. You leave yourself open to criminals that do have guns, or the cops. One of the reasons when you come here, if you want to declare war on us, it's not just the military you have to deal with. You don't know who, in what state. Like, all my neighbors have guns. Okay, we're not going to give up without a fight. You're going to have to fight the people too. The military is small, but there are more guns than people in our country. So I hope it's worth it. Like I said, though, our people aren't our government. We're completely different. We don't want to harm you. We just want to let you do you. We'll do us. People. That's how most of us are, I think, anyway. But getting back to Mr. Tim Pool, we'll check out a little bit more of what he says. Okay, well, Tim Pool's saying, I guess if you say gun on here, I might not even be able to post the video, or it, I guess, gets demonetized. Again, I'm not making any money. I don't care about the money, so I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Now, like conservatives and moderates totally get it. I know people who are very moderate and even left-leaning. I think Joe Rogan is like pro-gun, right? So he's somebody who totally understands it's not that easy, but he's a very left-wing dude, right? They exist. And so there's misconceptions. She thought she could just go get it? Sorry. First, she goes online and she couldn't even find if the store sold them or not. Yeah, it's not that easy. She says she searched Walmart.com.
Who buys a gun at Walmart? You know, there are those things called gun stores. You know, where do I buy a gun? It took me less than a second to pop up 5 different places where I can immediately go get a gun in under an hour in the state of Kentucky. Okay.
To try and find out which of the 10 stores near her sold them, and she couldn't come up with any answers. I figured that employees at any one of Walmart stores near me would know which locations sold firearms. I was wrong. Over an hour and a half, I placed more than a dozen calls to multiple stores, waited on hold for a combined 40 minutes, and got through to a human only 3 times.
Okay, well, the story's clearly ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know whoever this lady is that wrote the story for Business Insider. It's clearly pointless. I guess, like I just did. I literally just showed you the entire spectrum, in just a few minutes. That's it. That's all you need to know. Yeah.
Walmart employees told me they didn't know which stores sold guns in the area. I said the G word. There it is. Boom. Video deranked. Nobody will watch it. Yeah, I swear to God, it's going to happen. So if you'd like to support my work, because I didn't do the plug, share the video. Just share this video because, listen, this is a story about a woman who didn't understand how firearm sales worked. And she did the investigation, and she learned something. Something very important for people on the left who don't understand this. Share the video if you like it, because I'm getting deranked hard on this one for sure.
Oh,
One
no.
person referred me to Walmart's main customer service line. I called that number and spoke with someone who said he also couldn't help me. When it comes to item availability, they don't want us to discuss that for various reasons. Yup. One of the reasons is because they are concerned about crazy people, calling and trying to find something. And the Walmarts that do sell these are selling to their local community. So the average person knows they have them and they don't need to call and ask about it. The people who are asking are people who don't know where to get them and are trying to find it. And that's kind of odd. Because for most people...
Well, that's kind of it for me. I don't have a big lesson. If you want to watch the entire episode of kind of how he feels about it, you just look up Tim Pool, Liberal Journalist, and Firearm, and yeah, it's that easy. I don't even think there's a video at the beginning of this. I'm a little hesitant to sort of go out into the field and show you basically where they're allowed. I mean, I know there are a lot of other videos, but essentially how easy it is to do it. I don't want to give anyone any ideas of anything negative. You shouldn't hurt people. Don't hurt people. Don't hurt animals. It's self-defense only. There's no reason to go and just indiscriminately start hurting people. Please do not. If you're thinking about it, please get help. Go to any mental health professional you can find anywhere, and do the right thing. Don't hurt people. So I guess, all right. So that'll be it for this. I'll have the temple video down in the description, and all of the information. You can clearly take a screenshot if you're interested in knowing your state's gun laws. Of course, you're going to need to make sure if you do get a gun, to understand what your rights are and what the laws are in your state, so you don't end up getting arrested. That's the last thing you're going to want, is when you're trying to protect yourself, to become the bad guy yourself. All right, so thanks for watching, and Tim Pull Beanie and me says we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you.